Hey guys, I'm excited to teach you about some ideas I've been developing over 10 to 20 years now. The positioning has been up to 10 years. The branding and the concept is stuff that's been in development for even over 20 years since I got online in 95. So it's been a fun journey, and I just want to kind of share a lot of that with you. And so, for example, the ORR is the optimized reinvesting ROI. And what I'm really looking to do is, over time, develop some product positioning with some people. Product positioning, for example, would be something I feel like has a good ratio on the supply and demand. For example, like credit repair, contract for deed, are a couple that I've invested a lot of time in optimizing over the last 10 years to understand. I feel like the supply and demand is really good on those. And then from there, I would work with some people on the cash flow quadrant and the product positioning, and then eventually help them, like through the trial and error, like I've done, through documenting myself and so forth, the self-awareness of it all. I would help them with their personal branding as well. Their personal branding would be much bigger than just the product positioning. The value positioning is value proposition, I should say, is something I've got to continue to work on a lot more. Maybe not everyone knows what optimizing means or reinvesting. Maybe that when you hear that, you don't know exactly what it means. So I do need to come up with a few sentences to help you to understand that a little bit more. But it's just a lot of what I've learned from the digital marketing and the real estate investing world, and having an investor mindset and how the two connect. So over time, I will be able to talk a little bit about lifestyle design. I'll be able to talk about time cycles and how it will help your life for the better. Because we're in a very disruptive world now with innovation, and technology is now such a large part of our lives that everything is pretty much revolving around our phones, and our phones connected to the internet. It's connecting to social media, Facebook, and so forth. So I want to try to teach everyone how to. I've been fortunate enough to have been online since '95, so I've got a lot of perspective, and I've seen it optimize over the years, and it was actually optimizing far faster than I could ever keep up with it. So I want to share that and show you where it crosses with, like, an analogy with some of the real estate investing and what I've learned with that. And I want to be able to help you out. So the value proposition is something that I'm going to be developing over time. As I'm helping people with product positioning over time and building relationships and retention with that, and the cash flow quadrant, and it's not just inside, a lot of it's been inside of my mind, but it's really about getting inside of other people's mind, because I have to understand how they think so I can get better at my value proposition. That's what I see a lot of people do wrong with marketing, is they have it all inside their mind, and it makes sense in their mind, but it's because they've been kind of using themselves. I had a phone call there. They've been using themselves as a sounding board for a really long time, and it's just really important that they've kind of been playing their own devil's advocate. And it's just really important that they talk to other people, because marketing is really about empathy and helping other people, or understanding other people, or helping them to understand. It's kind of a give and take. It's kind of a feedback loop. And the more you can clearly communicate that succinctly, then the better you can get at your marketing. So, because you're solving other people's problems, right? So you get better at understanding what the problem is that you're solving. So that's the value proposition. The more I understand the highest level value that I have for people with the cash flow quadrant and their personal branding and their product positioning and how it helps their lifestyle. See, the thing is, a lot of people I see over the years, like, let's say they're like an insurance agent, or they're part of an MLM or something like that. They're just part of different businesses. Sometimes they're an employee quadrant. Sometimes they even try to create a book of business or self-employed. The problem is like they're spending all their time marketing and building these relationships, and then it just they end up in a different business like 2 years later. So it's kind of that quote about, like, you're spending all that time climbing up the ladder, but it's like you got to make sure that you've got the ladder up against the right building, because that's where you got to have strategy. That's why you've got to think about long term. The world is disrupting so much. You have to have an investor mindset. You have to think past the pay cycle at it like an employee job. You have to think more like an investor. You have to think of long term. Where's the world going? Because you have to be nimble, you have to be agile in today's world. So I want to help you guys with that. Continue to watch my videos, and I'm going to eventually, as I get more clarity and I understand how I'm helping people and how they understand it, not how I understand, but how they understand it, I will be able to do longer videos. I will have more content to put out, and hope you guys can check it out on Facebook and on YouTube, and you guys enjoy your night.